Hi Modern Miss Huxtables! Today I wanted to talk to you guys about edge control, and I wanted to do a brief snippet about two products that I love for use on my edges at two different price points, and then also talk about edges in general and new growth and how we deal with it. So I wanted to start by saying when I was younger, when I was a kid, I didn't really wrap my hair at night. I didn't learn how to properly wrap my hair probably until I got to college. So I would go to sleep at night. We didn't sleep with satin pillowcases or anything. We used our, as I said in my nighttime routine video, our mushroom caps or satin bonnets. But I'm a really rough, wild sleeper, so that would come off in the middle of the night. Anyway, so a lot of times my edges always looked like really rough and frizzy, or just like dry or sticking straight up when I went to school. They just never looked in order, and it became a source of literally torment for me because people at my school would make fun of me. They'd be like, why do your edges look like that? Your edges look crazy, or your edges look nappy, they look kinky, or you know, the first day that I got my hair done or hot combed, they would look really nice, or when I got a fresh relaxer, and then literally 2 days later they'd look a mess till the next time I got it done. And so it just always became a source of like torment for me in terms of getting made fun of. And also when I would like play on the playground or play on the wood chips or whatever, your hair, like my hair would really quickly, if I just sweat just a little bit or get like raindrops or water, my hair would stand like straight up, and my edges and my hair closest to my scalp and the back kitchen area would just revert back to being kinky really quick. And I remember also getting teased, or people being like, oh, you know, you need a touch up, you need a new relaxer, you need to get your hair relaxer, it's starting to get, you know, kinky. And I wanted to talk a little bit about, in this video before I show the two edge control products I use, about how so many times we want growth and we want our hair to grow, we want to have new growth, but in our culture, we're taught to kind of hate or be ashamed or feel embarrassed or guilty about new growth or about the way that our hair naturally comes in. And the problem with that is, you know, I have friends that say like, oh, I really wish, you know, my hair would grow, it just doesn't grow. Well, when's the last time you got a relaxer? Like, girl, I needed a touch up like 2 weeks ago. So if your hair didn't grow, you wouldn't need a relaxer. You wouldn't need to touch up anything because in your mind, your hair is not growing. But it's so ironic that we kind of learn to hate or be inconvenienced or embarrassed about new growth when that's what you want most. That's what you desire and want most. And we're so quick to slap a chemical on it or do something to try to get it under control when that is your new growth. That's what you should be embracing and welcoming, because that's what you know, so desperately want and desire. So in addition to making sure, you know, that your edges are babied and taken care of, and that hair has been with you the longest, making sure it's protected and able to combat with the friction against things all the time, like you have to embrace also your new growth and not look at it as something negative or problematic when that's what you want. And so really in our community, instead of saying I want my hair to grow or I didn't have any hair growth, we should be using the term retention instead. We should be thinking about how much hair we're able to retain, because your hair is growing. It's growing. You know, if it didn't grow, you would get a relaxer and it would be like a tattoo. It would be something permanent for life, because you never need one again if your hair wasn't growing. So I just wanted to highlight how important it is to realize, or just think back even in your life, or when people make comments, how you feel about your edges or how you feel about your new growth. Because a lot of times we feel negatively about it or inconvenienced about it, and at the same time want our hair to grow. I also just remember being an undergrad, times like when I got my hair relaxed and people on campus, guys being like, oh, your hair looks really great, or oh, your edges are laid, girl. Like we oftentimes hear affirming messages or comments when our hair is laid down as straight as possible, and that's just not, it's just not realistic. It's not natural. That's not the way my hair grows in. It's not the way it comes, you know. So if you're used to people affirming you, or you're used to feeling most comfortable with your hair in that state, like you might have to kind of reflect on that and think about that a little bit, because it's just not realistic. And if you're going to abuse the heck out of your new growth by constantly putting heat on it every day, or constantly putting heat on this area to get it to lay down perfectly, then you're going to kind of kill it in essence. And you're going to kind of, in that case, you would be damaging it, and you would be hurting it, and you would be not allowing it to grow in as as healthy and as great as it could. So I just wanted to highlight on that and speak kind of from experience a little bit on how I feel about it. But the two products are the Organic Root Stimulator Olive Oil Edge Control. This one goes for about $4 to $6 at drugstores or whatnot. It's the just regular edge control. I know a lot of people talk about this on YouTube or in other videos. The ingredient list, because I'm kind of a natural phobe, is not as great as I would like. But it does have like castor oil, aloe oil, aloe leaf juice, I'm sorry, olive oil. But then it also has like methyl ionin, methylparaben, propylparaben, you know, some other things I can't even pronounce chemically, so I'm not really sure. It's not the ideal. But it's kind of like, if you remember the Go Jam, it's that clear gel jam consistency. I took some out with my finger, so it's like that thick jelly type consistency. So it's good for laying the edges down. I can show you on my edges today. This is exactly what I'm talking about. This would be the source of so much harassment in school. Okay, so it's, you know, good for laying those edges down. It creates a really high gloss sheen. But I don't like this sometimes, because times when I've gotten my hair done, I will have my hair freshly washed and stylists would take a big glump of this on their comb, and see, it kind of creates that like really jelly look, which I don't always care for. Like sometimes it's cool, but sometimes it's like I don't want all that on my freshly cleaned hair. But just to give you a look, it kind of creates that really artificial shiny jelly look. So then for a higher price point, I wanted to talk about the Aveda Control Paste. This one goes for, I think, $22 at Aveda. My friend Melba put me on this, so shout outs to Melba. She uses this a lot with her sew-ins for the hair closest. And this is made with flaxseed oil. I'm not sure the ingredients for this, because I don't know if this came in a box when I purchased it or what, but the ingredients aren't on this tin. But I like this as an alternative to the olive oil control, because it's more of a cream-based product like this. And I'll take out a little bit to show you. It's creamy like this, and it's sticky. It's tacky. But it goes on a lot creamier in terms of application. So it doesn't give you that kind of artificial gloss or shine. It's a little bit more natural in terms of how it blends in when you apply it. So I like this one a lot as well. So that's the Aveda Control Paste if you have an Aveda store. So most people that my friend Melba has introduced this to love it, and not a lot of people, I don't think, like know about it, but it is pricey. But it's lasted me a really long time, and it has a 2-year shelf life. So hope that helps, and good luck with your edges, lady. Please comment below your stories about edges. Step away from the edge. Love and embrace your edges and your curly cues, the way that they grow from your head. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care.